Welcome to Fun in Key West, where every day feels like a mini fest. Grab a drink, take it slow. We'll show you where the locals go. Food, fun, and stories to tell. Hidden gems you know so well. Your Key West experts here to say it's fun in Key West every day.
Welcome, everybody, to the Fun in Key West podcast. I am Michelle, and you know what we do here. We talk about everything that is Key West and everything that you love about Key West. And today's guest is one of those people who truly bottles the feeling of Key West. If you've ever wanted to take the island home with you, this is the conversation for you. I am so excited to welcome Deejay Peak, the owner and creator behind the Key West Candle and Bath Company. So, for anybody who has not had the opportunity to meet you yet, give us the short version of who you are and what you create. And it looks like she might be frozen. Let's see if we can get a hold of her so that we can get that Wi-Fi up and running. Sometimes Wi-Fi is not the best thing in Key West, and we all know that. So we're going to have her come back on here. In the meantime, if you've got an opportunity to shop local in Key West, I highly encourage that you do that. And that's one of the things that we are working on today is getting you exposed to a lot of the people in Key West who create amazing things and that they're able to share those with you, and you can order them and have them sent home to you. And DJ's going to come back on here in a few minutes, and let's just have her join here.
I apologize. My phone just went like berserk.
I was telling
I'm like,
everybody that,
no.
this is the fun of being in Key West because sometimes cell service and internet is just absolutely too much fun. So,
I honestly am considering getting satellite because it's just so bad sometimes.
not a problem. So, you're walking into the store, but before we get to that, for anybody
Yeah.
who hasn't had the chance to meet you, give us the short version of who you are and what you create.
So my name is DJ, and I moved to Key West 7.5 years ago. And let me just say, I came down here as a child, my whole summers sometimes with my family. And we fell in love with it. And then obviously, I met my now husband, which was my boyfriend at the time, and his family used to come down here for lobster season. And one season, we were on our way out, and we just said, if we ever have the opportunity to move to Key West, we should do it. And we were 21 at the time, and my parents opened an ice cream shop here. And my mom said, well, we'll open it if you guys will run it. So we said, screw it. We're 21. We have no kids. We have no mortgage. What do we have to lose? If we don't make it, we can just go back.
Mm-hmm.
And needless to say, cruise ships kind of got voted out. The traffic flow from our ice cream shop really dropped. So my parents ended up going mobile. But in between there, I started Key West Candle Company. And after the store closed, I felt like, okay, well, I have this kind of thing in my back pocket. Why not just run with it? So I had $500 left to my name before we decided to go back to Tampa. And I started digging through the dumpsters at Rick's, Irish Kevin's, Sloppy Joe's, slowly becoming friends with managers because they're wondering who is this blonde girl digging through our dumpsters in the morning. And they would save their top shelf liquor bottles for me, and my husband would cut them and pour candles into them.
Wow.
So that's kind of how it started. And then after I got pregnant with my daughter, I realized, that's probably not a sustainable business. We can't keep dumpster diving. So we rebranded, and then we went into frosted jars. And then this past April, I had a kind of aha moment. It's very strange, but I was in a Cracker Barrel on the mainland,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized looking at their wall of candles, I was like, why are my candles not on here? And I realized that they're very black and white, and it didn't really celebrate Key West. They didn't represent Key West. So we got to work over the summer and last spring, and I worked with a friend of mine who's also an artist, and she lived in Key West for a time period. And was my neighbor. And she hand drew all the designs that are on our packaging now. So I very much feel like I brought it back to Key West roots because I don't know if you know, but Lily Pulitzer, she had her break in Key West using Key West artists to elevate her brand. And I very much, after I redesigned our packaging, I found that story and I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. This is right back to our roots. Like, this is perfect.
That's
So
right.
I'm a mom of two, a wife of a captain, and I make candles and bath essentials.
Oh, you do more than that. So as we're going, since we're live, if any of you have comments, questions, want to put anything in, let me know. Mary Elizabeth is saying tropical vibes, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
accurate. When you start to think about how that growing up in Florida, you're like a third generation Floridian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we're rare breed. We do exist.
Yeah, you do exist. But you had, when you think back growing up and now that you're in Key West, is there a lot of differences between the mainland and Key West?
Yeah, a ton. I will say life is much simpler here, in the sense that it's not overcomplicated by schedules or places to be or just the extras. I mean, but also you could look at that as a negative too, because we're not going to hockey games, we're not going to football games, we're not going to concerts. I mean, we have concerts, but it's not every weekend.
Right.
It's like something to look forward to. But at the same time, there's always something to do here too.
Mhm.
So I do miss Costco dearly, and I do miss Target, Walmart dearly, but I would trade that to be able to bike to, the beach and the pool and the park. And, but yeah, there's major differences. Dental care,
Yeah.
hard to find,
Yeah.
uh, healthcare,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm young and I'm healthy, so I won't worry about that till I get there.
There you go. And Mary Elizabeth is saying, love the ice cream and love your candles. So,
Yes, I think it
yeah.
follows me on Instagram too.
Yeah.
I know.
And I think that vibe that Key West has is what the Fun in Key West community loves about Key West. It's that way to reset and to center yourself. But let's dig into a little bit. Let's talk about that candle, that broken candle, and the scent that it represented to you. And I don't think a lot of people understand the story. And you've alluded to the big box store shopping and the ease of going to those. And you get to Key West, and tell us about that candle.
So I had a candle from, I hate to say it, Bath and Body Works. Um, I didn't know anything about candles then, and I
Right.
know so much more now. But I had a candle from there, and it reminded me of summer, but also it was the candle I burned in my house continuously. And when I ran out, I would buy more. And once I got down here, the shipping cost was almost just as much as the candle, and I kind of realized well, how hard could it be to make a candle? I could just order the ingredients. So much more expensive, so much harder. I don't recommend it. But, um, your home has a scent. And I didn't realize how important that was until that candle broke. And I kind of felt this like sense of lost when the home didn't feel like mine. It didn't feel like my space.
Yeah.
Um, so that's where that came from. And then I realized, okay, popping in and out of stores, they didn't have the smell.
Right.
I still don't make a candle like the smell, but I've created one that I like even more, and now it reminds me of home.
There you
So
go. So talk
yeah,
to me a little bit about your candles. You use premium soy wax and clean fragrances, and you have, and just if anybody hasn't picked this up by now, you have just this attention to detail that's amazing. So give me a little
yeah.
bit of, at what point in time did you go, you know what, this candle thing could be legit, and what people are saying about the quality of your candles?
So there was a moment. My daughter was 3 months old, and I had a few people purchasing online on our website that weren't on the island. And a couple of people had mentioned you should really get into some stores. And I was thinking, oh, it's going to be impossible. They're not going to want my products. I'm just this small little candle maker on the island. But I have to say, Key West is so welcoming to makers and artists and artisans.
Hmm.
That once I emailed the Butterfly Conservatory and I said, okay, if I can get in there, their gift shop is the top notch of Key
Hmm.
West.
Yep.
If I can get into there, I think I'll be okay. And maybe this can grow further than what I'm thinking it can. And I had a meeting with their buyer at the time, Tim. Clarissa is now the buyer, and she's also the general manager. Highly recommend them. They do an amazing job over there. But Tim took a look at my products and he said, let's do it. And I walked out and said to myself, okay, if I just did that, how many more can I get?
Right.
And then it kind of came like a game to myself. Shortly after, the airport followed, and Hammerhead Surf Shop and Danger Charters, and it slowly worked its way up the Keys. Now we're all the way up to Key Largo.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, I didn't just want to give this candle, away to people. I wanted it to represent what we are. So I wanted it to be good, clean products. My daughter also has asthma. So that was a huge uh, rebranding thing for us because I didn't want to use crappy products. I wanted it to be a good candle that everyone in the house could enjoy, that are clean ingredients, not just, cheaply made,
Right.
you know, not a Bath and Body Works candle.
I got it.
But
No, I think
yeah.
that makes sense, and I think that's what absolutely differentiates your candles from the mass-produced ones. Um, we had at one point in time, and I don't know if a lot of people in our community remember, but we had subscription boxes. By the way, if anybody's interested in restarting subscription boxes, let me know, because it's always an idea that I'll bring back. But we had your candles in one of our subscription boxes, and everybody loved them. And they were amazing. They came in a 10, and they just had this. It wasn't that sweet, sugary smell that you get from the mass produced ones. You knew it was an authentic smell, and they were absolutely loved by everybody that got them in their box. But you've now branched out from candles, and tell me a little bit more about the bath and body side of the business.
So over the summer, I mentioned we went from Key West Candle Company to Key West Candle and Bath Company.
Hmm.
I have a mentor in Orlando, and he also does a little bit of soap making. And he mentioned you should probably add that on because it doesn't seem like there's big representation for it. So we are slowly developing hand soap, hand lotion, anything that would be in your bathroom. We're working on doing some shower gel and doing conditioner that remind you of US. Yes. We're super excited about that. And we also have cold soaps too, which are handmade and they're beautiful and they smell delicious. Both hand soaps and body soaps. So I just kind of wanted to fully embody everything that you would want in your bathroom or even in your kitchen. There's nothing like the smell of Key West after you wash your dishes.
No, there isn't. And that's what a lot of people in our community are wanting to recreate that experience and that smell and that feeling when they get back home to keep them there. And so we're going to now talk about you used to be just 100% online and offered wholesale.
Mhm.
And Mary Elizabeth has skipped ahead to where I'm going to go with you now. You now have opened a brick and mortar store. So where is your store located at?
So we actually live a few steps away from Hemingway's house, and I've been making the candles out of my house for the last 5 years. And after we got pregnant with my son, who's now 9 weeks, I kind of had a mental breakdown, and I said, "Oh my God, we've got to get this stuff out of our house." So there was a art gallery that we walked our dog by every morning for the last year and a half, and it's been empty. And my husband always said to me, if that space is ever available, you should take it. And there was never a for rent sign. I did some investigative work and found out the owner of the building and where he lived. And I said, screw it. I'm going to mail him a candle and I'm going to write him a letter and tell him I want to rent the space. I didn't hear from him for 3 months.
Wow.
And then one day I got a text and he said, hey, I'm in town. Do you want to meet? I'd like to meet you and have a chat. So, of course, I got in the moment, and I was like, I gotta go. And we ended up chatting for over an hour, and he decided he really liked me and was willing to give me the shot. So, that being said, we're on the corner of Juliet and Whitehead Street at 1011 Whitehead. It's a small space. It is a working studio, so 9 times out of 10, when you walk in, I'm either pouring candles, soaps, lotions, or packing orders. We don't have a back room, so everything is right out in the open, so it could be a little messy. But we do have a giant retail wall as well, so you can walk in, watch us make the product, but purchase it as well.
And that's awesome. So if somebody's visiting Key West and they come into your store, what is the
Mm-hmm.
must buy list? And because a lot of people fly in and out of Key West, you will ship it home for them, right?
Yes, we do offer shipping in store, but we also make our candles in travel tins, which make them super, super easy to travel with. You don't have to worry about them breaking on the way out. But we also, let me just grab one really quick for those that are watching. We also created a solution to our problem. So a lot of people were saying that they didn't want to bring glass home because they were scared it would break. So we actually created a paper tube. So this essentially is a box that your glass candle will go into. So you don't have to worry about it breaking on the way home. And it just looks really pretty.
It's
So
very pretty.
we also have the travel tins available too. I'm trying to see if I have one around just to grab it. There's one on the other side of the room, but yeah, so that's pretty much glass for sure. It burns a lot longer, so it's a great buy. But the travel tins are the easiest to
Right.
travel with. I would say definitely grab one of those, or if you're staying in town for a week, grab one of our cold pressed soaps. You can use it in your shower and toss it when you're done.
That's awesome. Is there
Yeah.
a favorite bestseller scent that is the go-to, or does it just span the whole thing?
No, there's definitely a favorite, and it might be because I push it because it's my favorite, but our Blue Heaven scent is absolutely to die for. It's got peaches, it has coconut in it, coconut milk, so it's like a creamy coconut. It's got pineapple in it. We worked with Richard over at Blue Heaven. I originally had a pancake and maple syrup Blue Heaven candle. And he said, it's too sweet. I don't love it. He said, I want something that's more along the lines of a cocktail. So this represents like a fresh, muddled cocktail from Blue Heaven's bar. But it's definitely one of my favorites.
That's awesome. Mary Elizabeth is
Yeah.
asking, do the large glass ones have lids?
Do they have lids?
Yeah.
They don't have lids, but a lot of people are using their paper tube lid. Like they take the candle out and then they just put the lid on top. But I had to eliminate some waste there,
Yeah,
so I figured people can try to reuse their box.
I like that.
So
Um,
yeah.
and so when people come in, they're probably just going to see you, right?
Yeah, most of the time. My husband's also a charter captain, so if the weather, like today, is very cold and
Yep.
windy, his charters get canceled. He's in here a lot of the times with me. You may see my mom in here. You may see my dad in here. I did just hire someone for the weekends because I recently worked 9 days straight and I needed a break.
Yep.
But I recently hired someone to pop in here on Saturdays every now and again. It's not going to be like every weekend, but most of the time, yes, you'll see me. We are closed on Sundays and Mondays,
Hmm.
and we're only open to the public from 10 to 2 p.m.
Okay.
Tuesday through Saturday. 2 o'clock's our cutoff because I have to get my daughter from school.
That makes perfect sense. And what I love about how you're approaching business and approaching this endeavor is it's true Key West spirit. It's family first, and
Mhm.
it's providing something that is absolutely amazing that people can take home. But the story of the fact that it's family is
Yeah.
amazing. Um,
Um,
Go ahead.
I grew up in my parents' smoothie shop in the back. So when I was really hell bent on not opening a brick and mortar because I didn't want my kids to grow up inside the store. But I quickly realized like I have to get out. So where's the happy medium? And as much money as I'm probably losing by not being open later, I just know that this time with my kids is so short
Hmm.
that I don't want to miss out. So I'm willing to take the loss because I can always make up the money later.
That's true. There's a concept out there, and a lot of people talk about this. We get 18 summers with our kids, and
Yep.
after that, you send them off to adulthood, and maybe they come back as an adult. I have four, and they're with me a lot, but
Yeah.
you miss that first 18. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
important to lay that foundation for that first 18. Absolutely. Well, how do you want people to feel though when they leave your store? Is there a do you feel like when people leave and they are feeling the way you want them to feel, you're like, yes, I won, and they're going to be back and they're going to be a true fan. What's that feeling?
I I feel like in today's digital world of AI and mobile ordering and just automation, there is not an authentic relationship anymore
Mm.
with purchasing something. I.e., you go to Starbucks, you don't want to wait in line, you put in your mobile order, they
Mhm.
make it, they put your name on it, you walk in, you grab it. There's no conversation anymore, there's no humanality to it. I want you to walk in our store and one, I want it to feel like you're visiting my own Key West bathroom. That was the vibe I was going for. I wanted
Yep.
it to feel like you were in my own home. Second, I want you to feel like you got something other than a purchase. I want you to feel like you were able to have a conversation with a real human being with emotion and someone who invested in you. I don't care to just sell you a candle. I want to know about you. I want to know about where you're from. I want to know where this little piece of art that I've made is going. It's finding a new home that's going to tell stories elsewhere. So that's the biggest thing. I want you to feel like you just became part of my family.
That's awesome. And I just in this conversation I'm having with you, I feel that. So, and Mary Elizabeth says she
Yeah.
loves your story about ours and family first. So you're on the right path.
Yeah.
You're going to find those people.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I'm going to give anybody else an opportunity
Hmm.
to ask a question. But I have a few questions that I seem to always ask people. Um,
Hmm.
Favorite place on the island to eat and your go-to order?
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Let's try breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's try all three.
Okay. I'll even tell you what I would order too.
That's awesome.
Blue Heaven for breakfast. You have to get there before the rush, so you got to get there right when they open. I would get the Rooster Special. Definitely the sausage. It's made at Fausto's. It's delicious. Lunch. Lunch, I would say Schooner's Wharf, and I would get fish dip. I would get chicken wings, Caribbean style, with buffalo on the side.
Ooh, I like that.
And then for dinner, I've got two. I'm either doing, if it's a night that I don't feel like really getting dressed and we just got to eat, I'm doing half shell raw bar for happy hour, 4:30 to 6:30. We're going to get some buffalo shrimp. We're going to get some oysters and maybe even some lobster egg rolls.
Ooh.
And my absolute favorite restaurant on the island is Point Five, which a lot of people don't know where it is because it's kind of hidden. But it's upstairs of 915, which is also the address, 915 Duval Street. No reservations needed. Same food as downstairs. Not white tablecloth, which isn't my favorite anyways. And they have a porch that you can eat on, and it overlooks Duval Street, so it's great for people watching, which is my favorite.
I loved people watching. Point Five is amazing.
So,
I do like
yes.
that. So is half shell your favorite happy hour on the island?
Yes, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, there are others, but always go to is half shell. I just feel Key West when I'm there. It embodies it.
I agree. Favorite place for coffee, and what do you order?
Okay, so they're not in Key West, but they're coming back, and I'm very happy about it. Baby's Coffee, hands down, is my favorite coffee on the island. I make it at home just because they're not in Key West, but they are coming back. They're going to be on Bahama Street, right on the corner of Bahama and Fleming. So we're super excited about that. But I just love the regular cup of Joe. It's like $1.50. It's great. But more than anything, coffee on my front porch is my favorite.
I love that. So if you're not in Key West, and if you're in Key West, I have to say, stop by DJ's shop because it is a must see and experience because you are going to be just transported to any memory that you have of Key West by being in the store. And if you're not, you can still get some little sunshine sent home. So give us a little bit more information on how they can get a hold of you, how they can order if they're not in Key West.
Well, we sell on our website, which is KeyWestCandleandBathCo.com. We are revamping it, so bear with us because I didn't have the money to invest early on, and I'm slowly investing in things, and the website is one of them. So everything you see on there is built by me, which is not a website maker. But we're hanging in there. And we are working with somebody. I actually have a call this afternoon to revamp it. So you can order on our website and we ship direct to you. We're also available on Facebook and Instagram Shop and on Google. So you can kind of find us everywhere. We also are on Etsy if you feel inclined. And if you purchase on Etsy, you don't pay shipping for the end of this quarter. And then we'll switch that up. And then if anyone has a storefront and they're interested in carrying our products, they can scroll all the way to the bottom of our website in the footer. And there's a wholesale registration. They can sign up to sell our products, tell us a little bit about their shop. And once they get approved, they get access to wholesale pricing on our website. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And I think you also do a Shopify integration too, if somebody has a Shopify account,
yes.
right?
If somebody has Shopify, we do Shopify Collective as well. We kind of have our hands. I said, let's just do everything. Why not? And we'll
Makes
see what
sense to me.
works.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think you just have to do everything. Well, DJ, thank you for creating something that truly smells like Key West and allows people to bring that memory home with them and that feeling. And thank you so much for taking the time today to talk to us. Anything else you want everybody to know?
Just come and visit. Book the trip. Don't wait because it's just going to get further and further away. Book it now.
I agree. Book it now. Well, thank you so much. We're going to close out with our jingle. And again, stop by, say hi to DJ, her family, anybody there, buy online, tell everybody about the candles and the bath products because you will not be the same person if you're going to buy it, you're going to use it up, and you're going to go, I need more. And like DJ says, you're going to book that trip so that you can go smell them all because you can't smell over the
Yeah.
internet. So you got to come into the
No.
shop.
Oh, well, we do offer, just before we go, if you don't know what smell you want, we do offer a discovery kit, which has a sample, a 2-ounce sample of every scent we carry. So if you're not sure what you want to order, you can order that and then take a sniff of everything. So you don't have to come to Key West, but I'd rather you.
I would rather you did too. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you so much. And we appreciate your time, DJ. Thank you. We're
Thank
going to
you.
head
Have a
out.
good day.
You too. Hang
Oh,
on.